Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. So this is the last one I'm going to make on Hojo Udo, or auxiliary training. Just want to emphasize again that strengthening your body, toughening the surfaces with which you would strike in self-defense, be it shins, whatever, all of those things are important in a self-defense scenario, okay? Things are going to go wrong. If I'm ever in a place where I physically have to defend myself, again, I've already made a bunch of mistakes. I was in the wrong place, doing the wrong thing, looking at the wrong person, answering the wrong way. I recently posted an excellent video from, I want to say it was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or a Krav Maga class or whatever, and the man made an excellent point about how a lot of fights occur. And he started with when you're in a bar, which again, you're in the wrong place already. But if you are a person who goes to bars and somebody says, hey, what are you looking at? Your shirt, it was really nice. I was wondering where you got that. You can diffuse a situation very easily verbally. So there are a lot of things that you can do to preclude ever having to physically defend yourself. But stuff happens. Should you ever have to defend yourself, punch a person, kick a person, it would really be nice if you had the strength to make the technique work, and if you had the conditioning on the body part that you're striking, blocking, kicking with to do more damage to your opponent than to yourself. I've saved for a long time on my computer a video of a kickboxing match, and the guy threw a roundhouse kick to his opponent's leg, and the opponent lifted his leg to block the leg kick, which is pretty much standard procedure. And the guy kicking, his shin hit his opponent's blocked leg and basically broke the shin, and you could see his leg at the shin wrap around, and then he fell down and his leg's all sorts of wonky. It can cause you a lot of nausea if you watch it too many times. But the point was that he had a brittle bone and his opponent took advantage of that. It's not uncommon to hear of a fight where somebody punches somebody in the head and they break their own hand. And the guy whose head they punched maybe has a black eye or is bruised a little bit. So you don't want to do more damage to yourself than to your opponent. You would prefer to, if you're defending yourself, that the damage be something that hurts the opponent enough to make them stop, not hurt you enough to make you stop. So all of that said, the conditioning, the hardening, the training, going from the iron palm to the bag, to the makiwara, to the kettlebells, and all of those things, the weighted sandals, all of those things that we've discussed over the last several weeks are very important from a self-defense standpoint if your goal is to come away less damaged than the person who attacked you. Okay, so that said, last couple of things. I mentioned just now conditioning shins, feet, hands, arms. There are a lot of ways to do this. There are stories of Takayuki Kubota, who was the guy who invented the Kubotan. There's a whole story behind that. I'll tell you another time if you're interested or want to ask me about that. I'll tell you that story. But conditioning your bones and your shins, Takayuki Kubota actually took a small handheld sledgehammer and would actually just pound it on the back of his hand to toughen up his hands. And that's, again, a rather extreme way to do things, but he was a tough guy. He was the All-Japan Karate champion many years in a row in Kumite and so on. And so conditioning your body parts to take the impact. You'll see, as I'm currently watching the November Basho in sumo, you'll see the sumo wrestlers preparing, and you'll see them getting ready to go out into their bout, and then hitting their chin. I was wondering the other day how they get away without wearing mouthpieces. I don't know how many teeth they have because they head and face bang so much. And they do that every 2 months in their competitions, plus whatever they do in training. So doing all of those things just makes it so that you are able to withstand the rigors of actually engaging in self-defense. So in addition to conditioning, and there are a lot of methods for doing that, strengthening your body, going to the gym, all of those other things, the last exercise I want to focus on today is the push-up. Wondered when I'd get to that, right? Probably one of the most fundamental things we can do. It is the exact motion that we make when we're punching, pushing your body weight up and down. Moving your body weight up and down, whether it be body weight squats, which I think we did with the kettlebell, I don't recall, we might have or may not have. Might throw that on here as well. Using body weight, using the weighted sandals to strengthen your kick, so there's more power, force behind your kick. All of those things are important. I didn't distinguish a whole lot in how to train differently for speed versus strength. Most of the exercises I focused on have been strengthening exercises. Speed is a separate component, and perhaps I'll go into addressing that at another point. So, working the push-up is essential to your forward striking. You're pushing a guy away from you, you're getting someone away. When I coached wrestling, we emphasized pull-ups because you want to pull your opponent in and grapple and hold them in. In self-defense, I want to get him away. It's the, what did Alfred tell Christian Bale as Batman? He said, what's the use of all those ruddy push-ups if you can't get a bloody log off your chest, right? The whole idea is to be able to get that guy away, but it also is good for your punching power. So the basic push-up, and I've seen many classes. I taught PE in high school. I've worked with athletes from the professional, high school, collegiate level. Push-ups are often done, I don't want to say wrong because there are a great variety of ways to do anything, but they're done ineffectively. And so the basic push-up, this is so simple, it seems weird to even have to say it. You start at extension, you go all the way down till your elbows are further back than your shoulders, which usually means I'm touching either my chin or my chest to the floor and nothing else. I'm not laying on the floor, and then we push up. If done properly, we're squeezing our glutes, we're pulling in our abs, we're holding our thighs and quads tight. We're doing a plank, the core exercises are all there. If done properly, just the basic push-up works a good, large portion of the body. So, from the hands, we can have our hands in a variety of positions. Flat, turned out, turned in, closer, wider, offset to different directions, offset with turning hands. So you can position to work a different rotation and variety of things. So the basic push-up, we want to be in a plank position, not sagging. I don't want to dip my head up and down. I've actually seen, this was in a video of one of Morihiro Ona's classes where he had them go down to do push-ups, and I saw a bunch of guys doing this. That's not a push-up, just in case you didn't know that, okay? So we start with your hands, whichever your chosen position is. Your body is tight, you're squeezing your glutes together, so you're holding your abs up and in. We go all the way down flat, chin almost at the floor, elbows are further behind me, and press all the way to elbows straight. The mistakes are sagging bodies, head dipping, only coming up part of the way, only going down part of the way. A properly done push-up goes all the way down, all the way up, all the way back, all the way out, just like a punch. Now for the conditioning and the hardening part, and you can change surfaces, you may have a carpeted floor or all the way up to a concrete wooden floor. We can change surfaces and use the two knuckles. Here again, I've seen a variety of, and I'm going to avoid the word not wrong, but less effective ways of doing it, where I'll see thumbs out. Hope you can see that from far away, where the fingers are open and the thumbs are like this. So you're not making an effective fist. We're on the back three knuckles instead of the forward two, the index and middle knuckles. So again, a properly done knuckle push-up for karate purposes and for our punch is on the two knuckles with my fist fully folded in this position. And again, width, rotation of the hands can vary, but I want to be on the portion of my fist where the punch would occur, and not fingers open and three knuckles and thumbs out, okay? So, tight fist, everything else, the same thing applies. Plank position, squeeze the glutes, keep everything tight, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. If your goal is to get the most out of the exercise, okay? Similarly, fingertip push-ups are often done as finger flat, splayed out here, as opposed to on the tips of the fingers, which is where we want to be in a fingertip push-up. So strengthening not just the muscles of the push-up, but conditioning the parts of the hand that you might use. We even have the Keito Uchi, which you'll recognize from the Goju Shihokata. We have Keito Uchi, the back of the wrist. Try push-ups there if you want a real challenge. Go from here to fist. Do a push-up, bounce into the air, land on your fist, do a push-up, bounce into the air, land on your wrists. Challenge yourself in different positions, changing hand conditioning so that you're not only working your muscles in a physical training way, but you're conditioning the parts of the body that you would use in a self-defense situation, okay? I've thrown out a lot of ideas over the past 4, 5, 6 weeks. I haven't put together a program. I'll leave that to you. Do a little bit every day. Doesn't have to be all of it every day, but if you'll do something on a daily basis, even a little bit, and are consistent with it, you'll find that you are much better prepared should the need arise to defend yourself. Thank you for joining. I hope the Hojo Undo section of our Seidokan Saturdays has been useful. Please leave comments, questions, suggestions. I'm just coming up with these ideas out of my head. I'm trying not to teach karate. Here's how you do a front punch, here's the kata, these are the requirements for yellow belt. I'm trying to avoid that and stick primarily to concepts and ideas that can be an adjunct to anyone's karate, but specifically to our Seidokan. So if you have ideas, suggestions, or questions, please leave them in the comment section, message me, email me. I'd be happy to answer. Once again, thank you for joining, and until next Saturday, keep practicing.